as we start to head around turn number 10. Field is getting ready to come to the green flag. And we are running at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Great start for Nathan Reynolds out front. Oh, problems for Paul Ellison. Nathan Reynolds just went off the track in turn 6. Oh my goodness. A look at the truck here. Just as I said, he was getting along nicely. I know. Andy Poliski, that far behind Nathan Reynolds, about 0.7 of a second. And Reynolds is right on Peterson. And Peterson not going to get that lap led anyway. Peterson heads into the pit lane here, and oh yeah, there's John Kay too. Top 3 nose to tail after the green flag pit stops. Problems for Steve Vroman. He has just gone around. Oh, and John Kay, no, lock it down. John Kay doesn't hit anything, but oh man, that one hurts. That one stings. Man, that was shaping up to be quite some battle between those 3. And now, oh my gosh, what is Nathan Reynolds doing? Is he dropping oil? Poliski off the track. Reynolds is getting away. Poliski off the track. John Kay goes around. Man. Oh no, Luke Peterson has just gone off the track and he's around broadside down the front straightaway. Don't do that. Oh man, Ryan Dye gets a piece of it. Through the S's, baby in the throttle. But coming to the line as a winner again in the Venom Truck Series for the first time in Season 6. After a 3rd and a 2nd, it's a first for Nathan Reynolds. Deep in the heart of Texas again after taking a break from the most polarizing 1.5 miles in Season 5. The most utilized track in VTS history is back in full swing here tonight as we get ready to battle for 115 laps here tonight in the It's Getting Hot in Hurrr 115 for round number 5 of the 6th season of the Venom Truck Series. And all of the bigger and badder action is right here on your home for truck racing, Turn 200. Howdy, folks. It's Tommy Cook back with you as always, but we've got the return of the prodigal son. He's back. Mr. Matt Williamson, we miss you. You also missed quite the spectacle last week at Canadian Tire, but how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. So excited to finally be back in the broadcast booth for the Venom Truck Series. It looked like it was a bit of a tough test for even the best of the drivers last week at Canadian Tire. It's going to be a much different test this week at Texas. I'm excited to see what's going to happen here.
Yeah, you all saw the highlights before we opened the pre-race show here. Everybody, and I mean everybody, even the podium finishers were having problems with Canadian Tire last week. Things are going to be a little bit kinder here tonight, but not by a whole lot, as we now turn our attention to Texas Motor Speedway, where the Venom Truck Series has been 4 times in the past. 4 races, 3 different pole sitters, but 4 different winners. What separates Texas from the other 1.5 miles that we go to here this season?
Well, pretty much everyone knows that Texas got a real-life reconfiguration in 2017, and that is the version we are racing here tonight. Turns 3 and 4 are the same as they are at pretty much every other 1.5 miles, where these drivers are going to be doing as much flat footing as possible to create some separation from the rest of their competitors. Turns 1 and 2 is the real difference maker here. It was flattened by 4 degrees in the reconfiguration and was also widened by 20 feet. It corners a lot like Turn 1 at Pocono, where you can fit a lot of cars in, there is really only one fast line through the turn. Watch for some hectic restarts into turn 1 here tonight if we have a lot of cautions, although history tells us that cautions are not going to be the name of the game tonight. 2 of the 4 races here have had just 2 cautions, and the other 2 were ran caution-free.
And after a pretty hot race up in Ontario up there, let's take a look at the points after Canadian Tire.
Well, the top 2 stayed the same. The reigning champ, Andy Poliski, is still leading the standings, but now only up by 2 points over Nathan Reynolds, who is on a roll with 3 consecutive podiums and pole positions coming into tonight. Your leading rookie is also on a roll as Nathan Palawota has climbed up to the 4th place. The 2 drivers that fell the most spots in the standings were the top 2 drivers in points that missed the race last week, and they were Jeremy McKinnon and Chad Stearns.
Well, I tell you, it's about time for the rootinest, tootinest rodeo of the season, as tonight's coverage of the Venom Truck Series is coming up next. It's getting hot in Hurrr, 1:15 at virtual Texas Motor Speedway, and it's around the turn on turn 200. Yeehaw!
A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon deep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Broken open here now. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation. Alrighty, gang, welcome back to Texas Motor Speedway. We're back here with the broadcast boys live on Turn 200. Crazy stuff going on here in Texas, Mr. Matt Williamson. Are you having a good old hoedown of a time here tonight so far?
Wow, a hoedown of a time. Haven't heard that since the Whose Line Is It Anyway
days. Oh,
boy. Man, I'm excited. I think this is going to be could set up to be a crazy race here. Qualifying was pretty interesting. We were watching it very closely here behind the scenes, and can't wait to tell everybody what the qualifying order is and see how that one shakes out. So I think we're looking forward to a good one here.
Absolutely. The sim temperature right now, I believe, it was set to start at 90 degrees. I think maybe it's come down a little bit, but what are we looking at here track temp-wise?
Well, the track temperature is at 96 currently, so I mean that's
wow.
Not, that's not real
that's
hot, especially for Texas here. So actually pretty favorable conditions compared to a lot of the previous races here in the series so far.
That's going to do a lot of favors to these drivers here tonight. It's a little bit like any other oval that you're going to try and drive on. It's a little bit questionable at times. right at the start of the run. So any amount of favorable conditions you could get going for you is going to help these drivers out a lot here tonight. Practice, nothing too crazy that I was seeing pop up over and over again. How about you?
No, I mean, nothing real crazy. I mean, we're going to see people get tight off of turns 4 and turn 2. Pretty normal for most of our mile-and-a-half intermediates. That's pretty normal for these trucks. So, kind of your general things to watch out here for. But we mentioned it in the pre-race. Turns 1 and 2, the restarts, if we have any, can get pretty wild. So that's something that we're going to have to keep our eye on.
Absolutely. Got about a minute and a half here left in the warm-up session before we get rolling here tonight. Want to make a couple of quick announcements. First of all, if you're hanging out with us here tonight, let us know. Drop us a chat. Announce your presence. We'd love to hear from you. Also, a programming note for tomorrow night. It is the return of the GOATed Turn 200 broadcast series, the Daredevil series. It is back in full swing tomorrow night at Legacy Pocono. I am absolutely I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. It is going to be such a fun race tomorrow. I cannot wait for Daredevil to be back.
We absolutely love the series. We have a lot of returning drivers. We also have some drivers from here tonight in the Venom Truck Series that are venturing their way into the Daredevil Series, and I think that is going to be something spectacular to watch, especially on the ovals. There's a couple of really good road course racers in there coming over from the Venom Truck Series as well. I can't wait. I'm so excited to get it back going, and it's going to be something awesome, as always.
Absolutely. Getting ready now to hit the grid here in just a couple of seconds. I did that a few seconds too early, but yeah, let us know if you're here tonight. It's only Matt and myself in the chat right now, so let's get the chat popping here. We got a few folks hanging out with us here tonight, I know, as we are getting ready to get hot in Hurrr 115 right here at virtual Texas Motor Speedway. And with his second career pole and what will be his 5th career start, it is the leading rookie in the points, 4th in the points coming into tonight. Nathan Reynolds continues the streak. It's been 5 races and 5 poles for drivers named Nathan. Starting to his outside after missing his home race last week at Canadian Tire, Jeremy McKinnon is starting on the outside of the front row. On row number 2, also missing last week's race at Canadian Tire, Chad Stearns is back here tonight. He will be starting in 3rd. Starting to his outside is TJ Bartell, your runner-up finisher from Atlanta a couple of weeks ago. He is going to be one to watch for here tonight. Then is the driver who is 2nd in the points coming into tonight, a winner here in Season 2, I believe, at Texas Motor Speedway. That is Nathan Reynolds starting in 5th. Is outside the driver who won at Atlanta a couple of races ago. That is John Kay. Allstate John Kay starts in 6th. Ronnie Matney coming off a top 10 last week at Canadian Tire. He will start in the 7th position. 2-time series champion Ryan Dye starting to his outside in P8. 9th place start for Will Salamone, the only driver who finished last week's race at Canadian Tire with 0 incident points. He wants to keep that same energy here tonight. And your defending series champion and the points leader, Andy Poliski, rounds out your top 10 starters here tonight. Steve Roman looking for a bounce back here tonight. Will start in 11th. Paul Ellison, great rally last week for a top 5. He starts in 12th. Michael Dean Brantley Gainey, ICR, row number 7. Row number 8 is Eric Breeding after a top 5 finish last week. And Luke Peterson, a top 10 for him. Both of those drivers with their best finishes this season last week, 15th and 16th. Cole Maxwell, Oz Kanar, Paul Sargent, Kyle Zittel, your top 20. Corey Rutherford, Jeremy Carter, Kevin Sargent, Joshua Benjamin up to 24th. Austin Hollingfield off a good run last week, starts 25th. Kenneth Grace, 26th. Pascal Samar, 27th. Carson Mitchell deep in the field here at 28th. Ethan Patterson, Joshua Caudill round out your top 30. We've got 37 drivers registered for the session here tonight. We'll go ahead and let you scroll through the rest of the starting lineup. Quickly, Matt, though, what are we going to be looking at strategy-wise here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, always here in the Venom Truck Series, 3 extra tire sets and no fast repairs. What we're looking for as the fuel window goes, it's going to be about 45 to 50 laps. So definitely probably looking at 2 stops here, and we'll see how this thing shakes out.
Nathan Palawota in control of the field as the pace truck is getting ready to hang a left into pit road. 115 laps at Texas Motor Speedway. We'll see how the rookie does out front with Jeremy McKinnon starting to his outside. To the start zone, we are racing at Texas. Top two still side by side. Chad Stearns has covered off Bartel for third. Bartel now is going to have his hands full with Nathan Reynolds. Both of the sergeants started from the pits, so they're about half a lap down. But everybody else clean and green so far on lap number 1 is at the line. Give it to Palawoda. Oh, trouble car in the wall, Paul Ellison. Ellison up and into the wall. The caution is out as there's more crashing ahead of him. Oh, boy. Big stack up there. I see Corey Rutherford is involved. And we'll have to see how this one got started as Ellison gets up into the wall. They sort of all are going to stack up behind him. It's a question of who is involved and how bad are they damaged here.
Yeah, we'll go back and take a look at a replay. Like you mentioned, I think it started here with Ellison. Go ahead and go to a chase cam here for the replay. And it looks self-inflicted. I mean, it looks like the truck just turns right on Ellison for a pretty extended period of time here. And it looks like there were a couple of cars looking to go low. And that is where Rutherford took his damage. I'm going to back it up a little bit here. It looks like that may have even been a separate incident.
It was sort of unrelated here. Rutherford, Austin Holyfield, Carson Mitchell. I think Ethan Patterson is going to get a piece of this one as well.
Oh, yeah. And Rutherford just gets loose out of turn 2. Oh, man. He just comes straight down into the 10 of Holyfield. Oh, yeah. And then Carson Mitchell just trying to get kind of slowed down to stay out of this one. He gets run over and hard into the inside wall. So a couple of different incidents there on fresh tires. The turns 1 and 2, giving some fits to our drivers here early on.
We thought it might. We talked pretty extensively, or you talked pretty extensively in the opening there about turns 1 and 2. How they could be a little treacherous, and right away, rearing its ugly head. We mentioned 4 races here in series history. 2 of them had 2 cautions. The other 2 went caution-free. We are obviously not going to go caution-free here tonight, but we'll see if maybe we just needed to get one out of our system here. As we got Mr. Kingslayer in the chat saying woohoo, and a woohoo right back to you. And Rebecca Mrs. Woda, ready for another awesome broadcast. You guys do an amazing job. Thank you very much. We appreciate the kind words. It does help, though, that we get to call out Nathan running really well pretty much every week now at this point. I think he has had half of a struggling race in our 4 races so far. And other than that, he has been pretty much lights out here all season long, up into 4th in the points, and leading the way here for the 2nd time this season at Texas Motor Speedway. But good on Jeremy McKinnon. I will say that outside line through 1 and 2 worked a lot better than I thought it was going to for McKinnon.
Yeah, I mean, there is some room and a line to work out there, but the preferred line is definitely more towards the bottom of the track. But there is some grip to be had on the outside, especially once you come out of turn 2 and carry some momentum down the backstretch, get a big run. You could definitely make it work.
So Palawoda, I believe, led 27 laps at Daytona earlier this season, has been out front for all 5 completed laps thus far. And will be in control of the restart here on the bottom with Jeremy McKinnon to his outside. Row number 2 will now be Nathan Reynolds and Chad Stearns, TJ Bartell, and Rodney Matney on row number 3. How about it? John Kay, Will Salamone on row 4, and then Champions row 5, earmarked for Matthew Short here soon. But it's Ryan Dye and Andy Poliski there for the time being. So we're going back to green. Restart here on lap number 6. $110 laps to go. Great restart here for Palo Alto.
Yeah, nice jump here for Palo Alto out front and pretty buttoned up right now. Whoa.
Here comes
it was
McKinnon.
Ryan Dye pretty close into the outside. Well, actually, that might have been TJ Bartell.
McKinnon to the inside of Palo Alto. He backed up 3 and 4, got a great exit. And now here he is. He's opened the door, and he is going to take charge. New leader, Jeremy McKinnon. The nice thing is Palo Alto theoretically could do the same thing here to McKinnon. He's got some room to work with behind him as Chad Stearns has fallen about 3 or 4 truck lengths off.
And it's no surprise to see McKinnon up front early here. He likes to push as hard as he can early on in these runs. And he has found his way to the front again this season.
And you can say what you want about the reconfiguration of Texas. I think criticisms are valid. It plays a lot nicer on the sim here. But one thing you can't knock it for is that they scanned it when this track was glassy smooth. This is about as generous of a tire wear track as you're going to get, in my opinion. So this is definitely favorable for Jeremy McKinnon here. Like you said, likes to be aggressive early. And speaking of aggressive, here comes a move for third. Reynolds with ease is going to overtake Chad Stearns. Stearns now under threat from John Kay as well. So the Alabama gang on the march here early.
That and Ryan Dye, he's up to 7th. He was down to 9th or 10th there for a minute. Back up to 7th now. 1 spot gained from a starting position.
I think the biggest mover right now is Joshua Benjamin. He's up 7 spots.
Wow.
Oh,
John
Kay.
Kay and Stearns.
Yeehaw!
And TJ Bartell tried to sneak a nose underneath the Stearns down the backstretch. He elects to pull in behind and maybe get a good run here off of turn 4.
So the first battle right now is for the 9th position. Rodney Matney has it. Will Salamone wants it, although Matney off the outside at turn number 4 will pull back down and into line. So top 10 all single file here as we continue to work under green. Lap number 11.
And as we keep it rolling here, let's go back to Andy Poliski. He's sitting in 8th place right now. See what he's looking down the barrel of. He is one of our car inside drivers tonight. So we're going to go in the cockpit, take a look at what Mr. Andy Poliski's looking at. Right now he's looking at a bumper full of Ryan Dye.
He'll try to make the move here, and it should work, I think. Dye is fading a little bit on the outside. Poliski is the sponsor of the race here tonight, so he got to choose the name. It's Getting Hot in Hurrr 115. And this is the last time we're going to have him a car inside here for a while. We've used him 3 times in the first 5 races, but that's the kind of love you get as the defending champ, I think.
Well, he's not getting a whole lot of love from Ryan Dye right now. Dye still fighting back on the outside, or trying to anyways.
And this battle sort of stacked him up behind him as well. Matney again just had to fend off Salamone. And Steve Roman and Michael Dean were making some nice ground behind them to try and catch up, but they've sold out just a little bit. As Jeremy McKinnon continues to show the way here, we've got 34 of our 36 starters out on the track on the lead lap. Austin Holyfield has since hit the track again, but has picked up a black flag, I believe. So he is 8 laps down at 35th. Paul Ellison still sits in the pits after only completing 1 lap here. 36th position for him. Brian Reyes, I think, is having internet problems. He's tried to connect to the session multiple times and is not having any luck.
And Pleski is finally able to complete that pass on Dye. Rodney Matney looked to the underneath of the 9 as well there for just a second, but decided to back off.
So that'll move Dye back to 8th. Pleski up to 7th. The gap between McKinnon and Paluota up front is yo-yoing, but now it's about half a truck length as Paluota is trying to get on the move again. Because I think he's trying to get on the move because he sees that 38 getting bigger and bigger in his mirror.
I was going to say, pretty much everybody right there is almost stacked up. McKinnon awfully close to that outside wall. And if they get stacked up much, I mean, there's going to be 6 trucks vying for that first position here before too long.
Not a whole lot of battling going on here. I think Jan Van Leer has climbed 13 spots, if I'm not mistaken. It looked like he was maybe having some internet problems during qualifying, didn't get to put down a lap, so not exactly representative of his pace. But he is on the move nonetheless.
One of our other in-car drivers, Luke Peterson, is back here in 15th. If you want to keep an eye on the lead, I'm going to go ahead and go car inside with Mr. Luke Peterson.
That's Reverend Luke Peterson to you. And we do actually have a look here for second. Nathan Reynolds is underneath of Nathan Paluota. And Paluota a little bit loose there through the middle of 3 and 4, and that may be just enough for Reynolds to get the spot in 1 and 2. But Paluota fighting back hard here on the outside. And Reynolds is clear. John Kay now underneath of Paluota.
As we watch this, we'll come back to Luke Peterson at some point. Oh boy, John Kay looked like he was going to put a nose under the 6.
Can't say enough, though, about Paluota and how quickly he's adapted to the drivers of this league. These guys up front are no slouches, and he's been finding himself up front more and more as the season rolls along. Now, John Kay, I think, is going to have some real estate underneath of the 6 and is going to try and make this pass here for spot number 4. Meanwhile, McKinnon is about to hit the lap truck of Corey Rutherford, who is looks like going to stay high. Hopefully this doesn't affect the battle between Paluota and John Kay here. Corey does a nice job staying up and out of the way. I think we've just lost Mark Dillon Jr., unfortunately. As thought Kay was maybe going to get clear here, but Paluota's putting up a heck of a fight, that's for sure.
And I thought Stearns was going to look to make a 3 wide there for a second. He thinks better of that one. Probably a good idea, as Nathan Reynolds is all over Jeremy McKinnon now.
Reynolds, 3 straight podiums, and coming into this race had 3 straight poles. That streak is over, but the podiums is very much still on here tonight. And this is resuming a battle that we never got to see the conclusion of at Atlanta a couple of weeks ago. And I am all for it, as Reynolds going to take a peek to the inside of McKinnon here. This is for the lead. And he's going to get it done.
Yeah, after all the hard battles we've seen, that is by far the
Ooh.
quickest pass we've seen so far.
Man, just had a big moment there behind Bartel. Paluota got all crossed up as Bartel was trying to get around. Luckily, everybody's all right. And got confirmation from Paul Ellison in the chat, says his screens went out in the middle of the turn. Yikes.
Yeah,
That is, that's scary. And yeah, it kind of tracks with what we saw on the replay as well.
Yeah, it looked kind of funky what happened. I wasn't sure if there was some sort of a disconnect, or obviously we find out now that his screen went out and he just tried to pull off to the side. But yeah, I mean, he just went straight right. It looked kind of funky to me, and sure enough, something went wrong electronically for Paul Ellison.
So Rodney Matney has fallen outside of the top 10 now. He is in the 12th position. Behind him is Brantley Gainey, who is running the special paint scheme here tonight. A lot going on with the Gainey family right now. All the best from here, the gang here at Turn 200 to the Gainey family. Here is Brantley racing with a heavy heart and a special paint scheme here tonight at Texas. But he's looking to get up and challenge Rodney Matney here for spot number 12. And he's been slowly working his way up towards the top 10 here is Nathan Reynolds, showing the way at Texas. Top 3 are starting to break away a little bit. Reynolds, McKinnon, and John Kay. And then a little bit of separation back to Chad Stearns in 4th. TJ Bartel rounds out your top 5. Nathan Paluota is in 6th. Andy Poliski in this group as well in 7th. Then some distance back to Ryan Dye, who's running in 8th. Will Salamone in 9th. And he is about to have his hands full with Michael Dino, running in spot number 10. Steve Roman right behind him.
Yeah, Ryan Dye is going to have his hands full here with Salamone, Michael Dean, and Steve Roman. Ryan Dye, another one of our car inside drivers. If somebody gets in front of him here, we'll take a look and see what he's battling with. But let's go ahead and take it on back. Actually, there's a battle for the top 10 here. Roman looking to the bottom of Michael Dean.
And he will get it done. So after a tough couple of weeks in the sim for Steve Roman, missing North Wilkesboro, and then getting wrecked pretty early last week at Canadian Tire, it's back to business as usual for Roman now, inside of the top 10. And all of a sudden, Nathan Reynolds, holy cow, has pulled out to nearly a second advantage over McKinnon and John Kay, who find themselves battling side by side for second. And Chad Stearns and the gang are right back in it. Kay is gonna get the pass done here. He is clear up on McKinnon. McKinnon and Stearns battling side by side. And TJ Bartel is right here in the mix as well. So this is, I think, the exact same top 5 for the majority of the Atlanta race.
I mean, these are your intermediate track dominators at this point, really. I mean, we've seen, season after season, also in Truck 200, just how good all of these drivers can be. Stearns able to complete the pass on McKinnon. Bartel is next in line, but not close enough.
And all of these drivers are seeing Nathan Reynolds get further and further away. Gap is up to 1.3 seconds from Reynolds back to Kay.
And at this point, let's go ahead and go car inside with Ryan Dye, who has a swarm behind him and is looking to make a pass on Poliski, who he battled earlier.
So as the group in front of Poliski moved up, Poliski himself fell back to this group, and now Ryan Dye not quite clear up. But he is looking to get some help here from Will Salamone, who is right up to the back bumper here.
And what's really great here, we can flip back and forth between Poliski and Dye. Let's go ahead and flip over to Poliski here. You can see Dye is clear.
That's just too convenient as Dye is up. Oh, man.
Oh, and Poliski drifting up the track through turns 3 and 4.
Oh, Salamone tight to the left rear quarter panel there. And clips the grass on his way through the tri-oval just for good measure. Yeah, Poliski looks like he's voluntarily moving to the high side here, so I'm wondering if he's saving or if he just knows he doesn't have it right now. Because Salamone is all underneath of him now.
Yeah, he maybe just doesn't have the tires that he would like and is just trying to carry the momentum on the top side. When you don't have the tires that you'd like to work with, that's pretty much your best option. Maybe what he's doing here, or you might be right, maybe just trying to conserve a little bit, but we are going to be coming to pit stops here probably in about 10 to 13 laps if I had to guess.
Not a whole lot of action on pit road under our only caution so far, outside of the drivers who were involved in the accident. We've got 31 trucks still on the lead lap here, back to Carson Mitchell, who again picked up some damage in that accident. Paul Ellison over the radio says he's hoping for about 20 cautions, and that does make sense. Poor Paul Ellison is 19 laps down in 36th. .8 seconds and growing for Nathan Reynolds above John Kay, who is getting swallowed up right now by Chad Stearns.
Yeah, and TJ Bartel was able to get around Jeremy McKinnon finally as well. So 2x2 there for just a moment. And
Gary Clark is on the move here. It looks like he is on fresh tires, and he is motoring through these guys. Clark is 2 laps down in 33rd, but obviously has the pace to get around these guys without much issue. Unfortunately, they're still battling side by side in front of him. Stearns not quite clear on John Kay.
And here come pit stops. I think Ryan Dye has come into pit, so he
wow,
a little bit earlier
call
than we were expecting.
I tell you what, 2 drivers that have pit early in the recent weeks. Well, I guess both of them at Atlanta, TJ Bartel and John Kay. They finished 1-2 in that race, so this may be the right move here. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, this seems awfully earlier, just more earlier than I would have expected. But, you know, I'm sure he might know something that maybe we don't.
You know, he is a 2-time champion. Here comes Garrett Rainey and Kyle Zittel now into the pits. Boy, one of those two had him locked up, but no black flags.
I guess the one thing you're looking at doing in here is maybe make the runs a little bit more even. I mean, if you go the 45 or 50 laps, you're going to have a really, really short last stint, but you're going to be extending the life of the tires on the first 2. So evening out these stints, if we go green this whole time, I guess is what we're looking at. So we're looking at going 40, 40, and then a final 40, 35? Yes.
Yes. Yep, you're right. Jeremy Carter, Jan Van Leer, Paul Sargent, Kevin Sargent, Ethan Patterson, all on pit road.
Stearns!
Here's Chad Stearns, Reynolds. Stearns into the wall. He definitely made contact there. And that is no bueno. And
Stearns.
A black flag to boot for an unsafe pit entry. Michael Dean, Luke Peterson in now as well.
He could not get it stopped. and was hard into the inside wall on pit entry. I'm going to back it up here. And Andy Poliski talked to me about this just a little bit ago. He mentioned just a couple things about this race that he didn't like about Texas, and he said he tends to speed into pit road every single time. And you can see right here, Chad Stearns carried a ton of speed out of turn 4 trying to get to the pits, and he locked him up and hit the inside wall.
John Kay, Brantley Gainier on pit road. TJ Bartell from the lead is getting ready to pit this time. So Ryan Dye made the move a few laps early, but it has brought everybody onto pit road. Unfortunately for Chad Stearns, he has just gotten out of the pits, I think, to serve this black flag. Actually, he's still in there serving the black flag. Here comes Bartell and Rodney Matney. And Stearns is away. That one's got a sting for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's so good at these types of tracks, and he was right there in position, right where he wanted to be. He's the king of outlasting everybody else. And unfortunately, he kind of killed his chances there unless we get a couple of cautions here. He might be able to get the laps back, but it's going to be a tough road to hoe here.
The damage on the scoreboard is 2 laps down and 32nd, but remember, he does have a little bit of front-end damage. Not sure how repairs work here with the brand-new damage model, only 1 week old. Stearns one of the first ones to test it here in the Venom Truck Series, unfortunately.
So McKinnon and Paliwoda continue to lead the field here, have not come into pit yet. Roman Poliski, Salamone, Oz Canar, Joshua Benjamin, Kenneth Graves, Tyler Berger are all still out on the track as well.
Salamone is coming in this time. I thought you could make it about 48. I think that was the extent. And also, keep in mind, we had a couple of caution laps, so maybe these guys are looking right at lap 50. They're going to do their long stint here and make a short stint at the end and try and flip it. So maybe that's the strat here. Kyle Dumig is in the pits here as well. And Corey Rutherford may have blown up under this green flag pit cycle with the damage that he suffered earlier. So it is back-to-back unfortunate races for driver number 25.
The 94 got into the wall. That was a lapped car that was working around. That's Josh Cottle. He was trying to work around Paliwoda and McKinnon, and he got up into the wall. Here comes Nathan Reynolds.
I remember Paliwoda is not pit yet. Reynolds has, so this is not a pass for position, but in theory, that is the race for the lead. And it should be Reynolds pretty handily here. With these guys going long, trying to overcut, I don't think, unless we get a caution here, that it is going to work out for them in the short term. Andy Poliski is on and off of pit road, uneventful. Here comes Nathan Paliwoda, he says, over the radio. He should be coming to pit road.
It looks like McKinnon is staying out for another one.
So he's trying to go 50. Nice entry for Paliwoda. No speeding penalty. Made it in under the commitment cone. Have to see where he's going to cycle out here, going 6 laps later into the pits than most of the other people that he was running around here.
I mean, McKinnon is just getting past like he's standing still right now. Got to be coming in this time, I would think. Yep, he's slowing down. Dips below the apron. See if he can get it slowed down. Nice and tidy here. Looks like he was able to.
McKinnon has had some problems on pit road previously, but this is not one of those times. No black flag for driver number 12. So that's a good news in Camp Canada here tonight. That gives the lead over to Steve Roman, who is yet to make his stop. I believe Kenneth Graves is also still out on track, as is Tyler Bergert and Joshua Benjamin. Actually, Benjamin now in the pits. So a few holdouts still. Nathan Reynolds has cycled out to the lead of those drivers who have yet to come to pit road. Ryan Dye just got passed by John Kay. Remember, Dye was the first driver to pit under this cycle. So it did work out pretty nicely for Dye, although he is starting to move backwards a little bit. But in theory, we'll be running third here once these drivers start to pit. Here comes Jeremy McKinnon. Or there goes Jeremy McKinnon, excuse me, out of the pits. Vroman is not pitting this time. Neither is, well, actually, we'll see if Kenneth Graves or Tyler Bergert will hit the pits here this time. Looks like Graves is going to scoot on by pit entry once again.
I mean, am I wrong, or did Steve Vroman... I'm showing that he hasn't come to pit at all. I was wondering if maybe he pit on that first incident, but I don't think
so.
Did.
No, because he was inside the top 10. He's coming right now, though.
Here he comes. He's made it. I mean, basically, he's made it 53 laps. That's insane.
Absolutely insane, yes. But it's Steve Vroman. He is the alternate strategy.
That is true. He is the king of alternate strategies, and he has certainly taken the cake again here tonight. But I mean, that makes for 2 short stints to end this one. I mean, relative to the 54 laps that he just did. So, I mean, maybe he's, yeah, that's insane.
And the other 2 have come down to pit with him. So Vroman led across the line that time, but now Nathan Reynolds is out front of the field. Nathan Paluota is down in 13th, I believe. But he just set the purple lap of the race. So fresher tires on that 6 after going long, but he is cycled deep back into the field. So it is Nathan Reynolds leading by about 9/10 of a second over John Kay. They have pulled away from everybody else. But it's Reynolds 1, K2, and TJ Bartell in P3 after just getting past Ryan Dye a couple of laps ago. Dye is in 3rd. Kyle Zittel showing in the 5th position right now, rather. But he just got passed by Michael Dean, so move Dino back into the top 5.
Boy, John Kay in a tough spot. He's trying to get around lap traffic. Paul Ellison on his outside.
Ooh.
Gary Clark on his inside, and I don't think he's very happy about it.
That cost him over a second, and TJ Bartell is on him now.
You mentioned Ryan.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead. I was just about to say.
Well, you mentioned Ryan Dye, how early he came to pit. He's currently sitting in 4th, so far it's pretty much worked to his favor. I think he's probably looking to work to about lap 80, maybe come in again and have a last stint of about 35 laps here, I would assume is probably his plan. So he has quite a ways to hang on. He's going to have quite a few trucks behind him that have fresher tires, but the next one back is Michael Dean, who's 4 seconds behind him.
We've got, I believe, 35 of our 37 drivers running on the track right now. Brian Reyes is finally in session and turning some laps. And he is overtaken Mark Dillon for the final running position. Corey Rutherford is sitting in the pits out of the race, I do believe. As finally some clean air for John Kay and TJ Bartell in 2nd and 3rd, but they're 2.5 seconds behind the race leader. Ryan Dye actually kind of out in no man's land in 4th. Michael Dean and Kyle Zittel running in close proximity. Right now, Zittel under fire from Salamone for spot number 6.
And that is happening in front of Luke Peterson. We didn't give him much time in the limelight on car inside, so let's go ahead and do that.
While you're mentioning that, I believe Steve Vroman just set the purple lap of the session last time by. So Vroman again on fresher tires than everybody else. But Peterson has made a nice run so far, up 8 spots. Now, he's had a lot of qualifying speed here at pretty much every single track, including Canadian Tire last week, but uncharacteristic starting position for Luke here tonight. Has had to work up from 16th. But is doing a nice job, and he is about to go on the attack, I think. Actually, no, he's got the 14 of Kenneth Graves, who's on fresh tires. He's going to get out of the way for him, maybe. Woo!
Oh.
That was close, and that is going to cost Luke Peterson a ton of time here.
Yeah, I mean, we were on board with him, and you heard the engine. He had to roll way out of the throttle.
Now here comes Matney underneath of Peterson. He's trying to capitalize. This will be for position. And Palawoda to the outside of Peterson. They're 3 wide. Oh, my gosh. So Palawoda on Freshies has powered his way back into the top 10. Let it be known. This is an absolute mess right here. Holy cow.
And we're watching Peterson. I mean, we have him on camera, just cool as a cucumber right now. His heart might be racing, but we can't tell it from the outside looking in.
Maybe that'll be for Season 7. We'll get heart monitors going. I think Peterson may have just shot the moon there.
Well, I can see he's got some sort of a smartwatch on, so I think he might want to check that to see what his peak heart rate was here.
Just has the nuclear radiation symbol on it right now. I think Ethan Patterson may have just touched the wall through the tri-oval as Palawoda's making a pass on the outside around Kyle Zittel. That is to get up to 7th. And while we're watching all of that, TJ Bartell has caught John Kay and is maybe trying to stick to 74 somewhere. Took a peek to the outside, now going to roll out. Maybe try and regroup here down the back straightaway. But these guys have fallen to about 2.4 seconds behind race leader Nathan Reynolds, who is having a field day again for the 2nd race in a row.
We're going to go back here to this battle because it is steaming hot. It's Michael Dean, Will Salamone, Nathan Palawoda.
Holy cow.
That 4th truck is a lap truck on fresh tires. So he's looking to, make as much ground up as possible on new tires and isn't able to because of this battle.
Don't look now, about 10 truck lengths behind this battle is Jeremy McKinnon on the same strategy as Palawoda.
Oh,
whoa!
there's contact!
Graves into the wall. That was off of Michael Dean. And I think Graves trying to get around on fresh tires on the outside. I'm not sure how much Dean moved up. But Graves definitely did move down a little bit onto the right rear quarter panel there. Either way, that is not an optimal outcome, as now Jeremy McKinnon is on the scene.
Yeah, on the scene, and he's only has like 12 laps on his tires. All these other folks have about, 20 probably, so he's looking to scoot through these 3 pretty quickly here. Or at least these 2. Palawoda has fairly old tires as well.
And actually, going back to look at it there, Kenneth Graves, it looked like he pretty well held his line. I don't think Dean was expecting him to get quite a big run as he did. He moved up the track pretty mightily. But Graves was going way faster than the guys in front of him there on fresher tires. Unfortunately, he's got quite a bit of right side damage now and is already 2 laps down. So
McKinnon has worked around Salamone. So he is now in the 6th spot. Next up is Palawoda, who's half a second in front.
Bartell has gotten past John Kay. Ryan Dye is still 4.5 seconds behind John Kay. And he is starting to fall back towards Nathan Palawoda, who has just led this pretty wild group here that has started to calm down a little bit.
And Nathan Reynolds has about a 2.9 second advantage over Bartell here, and it's being extended, but not super quickly. Of course, Bartel also has to worry about John Kay again here, who was pulled right up to the back bumper at one point.
Other truck in the mix there is Kyle Dumig. He is a lap down. He's actually in the lucky dog position right now in 23rd. And Kenneth Graves, after the hit into the wall there, has cleared his meatball flag. He is going to be back out onto the track. And I believe at least 3 laps down, maybe about to get lapped for a 4th time here as he makes his way back out onto the speedway.
And we are looking at Ryan Dye on this driver camera. Thanks to the drivers who have participated in having webcams or driver cameras here for us this season so far. We have quite a few new ones that have signed up and will be coming up later this season as well. So Ryan Dye, the reason I'm watching him is he was the one to come in first as far as pit stops go. May not be too long. And he's going to try to short pit this thing again. We'll have to see.
And have we gone car inside with the actual race leader right now? I know he's kind of out in no man's land right now. But I do want to I do want to mention that he has got the know-how that you need if you're doing the truck races at Knoxville this week. His qualifying breakdown is going to help you a lot in qualifying, but may not translate so much to the race itself. So he's been kind enough to send us his a full race from Knoxville. That, you can be sure, is going to be the helpful tool to get you the wins here this week in C-Fix competition at Knoxville. Now, the link to that is in the description, by the way.
Yeah, and the proof is in the pudding, folks. I mean, if you've watched the Venom Truck Series, you know just how good Nathan Reynolds is. So if you need a little bit of help on your qualifying runs, go check him out. And as Tommy mentioned, actually in Knoxville, it is a kind of more of a race, a little bit of a racing detail rather than a qualifying detail. So go ahead and check that out.
And while we've been talking about Nathan Reynolds, Ryan Dye has surrendered 4th and 5th to McKinnon and Paluota. So the long run speed for these two, after staying out at least 6 or 7 laps longer than anybody else other than Steve Roman, is seeming to pay off here, although they are still down by 9 seconds to the race leaders. So some work to do, but maybe the overcut has some potential here as we draw nearer to the conclusion of this race. It's lap 75 of 1:15 here tonight.
I'm really interested to see when McKinnon comes in. If he elects to now come in and get on the same strategy as everybody else, or if he wants to try to extend it again, because if he tries to extend it, he's not going to have that many laps to let everybody else's tires wear out and then be on the fresher ones. I feel like he needs maybe a little bit more time. So very curious to see how he elects to go with pit strategy this time around. Should be coming up here before too long.
And before we do get to the pit stops here, one more quick plug for tomorrow night. It is the return of the Daredevil series right here on Turn 200. It is our favorite thing to broadcast. We love it to death. The Lotus 79s are back and places they shouldn't be, like Legacy Pocono. And it's going to be a blast. We hope that you can make it out here. What did I put on there? About 7:50 Eastern start time for the broadcast here tomorrow night. You're going to want to be a part of the action. So we hope to see you back here tomorrow for the Daredevil series at Pocono. And just like that, I believe Andy Poliski has been on and off pit road. So I think we are in the thralls of the pit cycle once again. Ethan Patterson is coming to pit road this time as well.
And Andy Poliski mentioned how much he has had some struggles here at Texas, and maybe just looking to give himself a little bit of an advantage here for this last little stretch of the race.
Pascal Samard has hit pit road. And boy, it has been a tough season for Pascal Samard, despite the fact that he has been running really, really well. And hopefully His luck can turn around here tonight, although he is currently, with the pit stop included, he's 2 laps down at 28th. So some early action on pit road. Don't think we had any takers this time around, but we are coming up on him. All right, John Kay, Allstate John Kay. Gonna pull the trigger. This is what got it done for him in Atlanta, beating Nathan Reynolds to pit road. Paul Sargent follows him in as well.
I am so surprised that a couple of people have gotten in before Ryan Dye. Ryan Dye was the very first person to come down pit road the first time around. I thought for sure he would be in by lap 80, but he isn't yet.
Garrett Rainey, Jan Van Leer, Carson Mitchell, Nathan Reynolds now into pit road from the lead. TJ Bartell as well. So the top two don't wait like they did at Atlanta. They follow John Kay right in. No black flags so far on this pit cycle. Chad Stearns into the pits. And he needs a caution to get back into this one, but he certainly has the speed to get up and contend. Joshua Benjamin is into the pit road now as well.
So we're kind of back to where we were previously. McKinnon and Palawota and Vroman all still out on the track.
All going long. Now are they going to go as long as they did last time? That's the question. Here comes Kyle Zittel, Joshua Cottle, Jeremy Carter into the pits.
And if you're McKinnon, Palawota, and Vroman, I just don't think you can afford to go that long here. I feel like you have to come in the next 5 laps at the very least. But maybe they know something I don't.
So Nathan Reynolds still pretty well clear despite the early pit from John Kay. He is about the length of turns 1 and 2 out ahead of John Kay, and Bartell about half the length of the back straightaway behind John Kay. So not exactly sure how much Kay is going to gain here, but we still have to work through quite a bit of lap traffic here. The tide could change any number of times between now and the drop of the checkers here. Well, especially with McKinnon and Palawota and Vroman still out on the track, like you said.
Yeah, and Kay is actually working through them right now. He just went through on Palawota, now up to Jeremy McKinnon.
Ryan Dye is on pit road. Paul Ellison as well, though Ellison normally a factor in these races, and he's led the most laps here in Venom Truck Series history at Texas. But a lap 1 crash finds himself 20 laps down, unfortunately. Cole Maxwell's coming this time.
So Kay has unlapped himself the hard way. Now TJ Bartell is looking to do the same.
10 drivers yet to hit pit road. McKinnon, Palawota, Vroman, Salamone, Gainey, Dean, Maxwell, Peterson, and Kanar. Here's Cole Maxwell on the pit road. I hear somebody in the grass in the tri-oval. Maybe just clipped it. Brantley Gainey, I think, is on pit road.
Michael Dean follows him in as well. So I believe just 5 left that have not come into pit. McKinnon, Palawota, Vroman, Will Salamone, and Oz Kanar.
Caution is out.
Uh-oh.
That is going to change a whole lot. Looking around the track, and there's one car around right at the entrance to pit road. Or truck, excuse me. It's Kyle Dumig. So Dumig pulls off the track. And it looks like he's on the brakes and maybe wheel hops it. Nearly gets into the inside wall. But he's on pit road. Oh, he pulls back out onto the track a little bit, and that's going to be enough to do it. Man, that's as unfortunate as that is for Kyle Dumig. the auto caution being thrown there really is sort of jumbled some things up. The good news for McKinnon and Paluota here is that there are 8 trucks on the lead lap. So they're going to pit, get fresh tires, and be in 7th and 8th at the worst. That is incredible.
Well, here's the other thing. Everybody has a set of tires left.
Yep.
So
Do you do it now? Do you wait for another caution?
I mean, I think even if you're the guys that have come into pit in the last 6 laps, I feel like some of them are probably coming down pit road as well.
We'll find out. Here comes McKinnon and Paluota and Vroman. We know they're coming. We know Will Salamone has to come as well as Oz Kanar, who is still trying to catch up here. So Kanar will surely pull into pit road here. Now it's a question of what do Nathan Reynolds, John Kay, TJ Bartell, Rodney Matney, Andy Poliski do?
Yep, here they come.
Here they come. Boy, they are really flying it onto pit road there.
They really were. Well, there's your answer, folks.
Yep. And Matt Williamson put another quarter in the Matt Williamson is right jar. It's getting pretty full at this point. So
I don't
maybe
know.
let's go for some dimes and pennies. What do you say?
I don't know if it's getting that full, but I feel like that one was a no-brainer. I mean, as little of cautions as we have had tonight, pretty much had to come in and make sure that you're on a level playing field with the rest of them. However, this is going to put them behind the 8 ball when they were ahead of the 8 ball, because now they will not be cycling around to 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. They're going to be in 7th, 8th, and 9th. So did not play out to their favor this time.
Andy Poliski's got the lucky dog. He is yet to pit here. And he may not pit.
Well, there's a lot of folks that are lapped down that I think are just going to stay out and get their lap
Actually,
down.
you know what? Poliski is in position for a wave round. He did not get the lucky dog. I think maybe Rodney Matney got the lucky dog. So Poliski will take a wave around and also have a set of tires in the pits. But everybody else in the top 10 here is out of tires. Other drivers that are looking to get a wave around here: Ryan Dye, Garrett Rainey, Eric Breeding, Luke Peterson, Kyle Zittel, Jeremy Carter, Joshua Benjamin, Carson Mitchell, Cole Maxwell, Brantley Gainey, and Michael Dean. So that will put 21 trucks on the lead lap, but none of the trucks from 10th on back will have fresh tires. The top 9 will.
Man, these are the kind of races that just put my brain in a pretzel, I tell you.
Oh, man. All right, everybody. Put your bets in the chat. Let's see it. I want to see it. We got a lot of interesting stories throughout the top 10 here. I think the bad news for most of the top 5 is that Nathan Reynolds is going to line up in 6th here. But it's a short run here. We're coming to lap 91 of 115. We'll restart on lap 92.
The other thing that's crazy about this is if we have another caution here in the next, 6, 7 laps after we go green, maybe, even 10 to 15 laps after we go green, the people that are staying out right now to get their lap back will be able to come in and get a set of tires and be on the lead lap. So that could put an advantage to somebody like Rodney Matney, Andy Poliski, Ryan Dye, Garrett Rainey, Breeding, Peterson. The list goes on and on.
Many
come
things.
on.
Mr. Kingslayer in the chat was calling out epic battles earlier and now is locking in his bet for WOTA. I'm betting we have quite a few WOTA fans in the chat here tonight. All right, wave around trucks are taking their positions here and moving around the pace truck. Everybody else should be able to get into position here pretty quickly. Jeremy McKinnon looks like he is going to elect the inside. That'll put driver number 6, Nathan Paluota, to the outside of the front row here. Coming to a restart on lap 92 of 115. 24 laps to go when we come back around. This is why we do it, folks. This is why we do it. McKinnon and Paluota on row 1. Vroman and Salamone on row 2. Kanar and Reynolds on row 3. John Kay, Bartel on row 4. Rodney Matney, Andy Poliski, the first 2 drivers on old tires. They are on that 5th row.
The other thing that's bonkers about this, the people that just took that wave around, they're going to have to restart behind lap traffic.
Green flag, inside line is stacking up. Somebody pulled down into the pits as the green flag was flying. But what a great start here for Jeremy McKinnon and Steve Vroman. They have both cleared Nathan Paluota.
McKinnon off to a hot start here. First battle on the track. Reynolds right on the outside of Oz Kanar.
Reynolds may get some help here from John Kay. Kanar a little bit loose there on the bottom. Reynolds is clear. Kay is not. Salamone is all over Paluota for 3rd as Jeremy McKinnon leads the way here. 23 laps to go.
Oh my goodness,
Oh
Kay
boy.
was clear for a second, but it was close. I thought Kanar was going to get right into the back of him.
Bartel to the outside of Kanar now as Kay takes a peek to the inside of Reynolds. Reynolds going to shut that down real quick.
And if those two are smart, I think they will work together here. Obviously teammates of the Alabama gang, but Bartel looking to the outside of them here.
Not just teammates, but 2 battle-tested drivers amongst themselves. Quite a few battles here have been seen between these two on turn 200 across multiple leagues. But Steve Vroman right now riding about 0.3 of a second behind his teammate Jeremy McKinnon. Both of these drivers desperately want to get back to victory lane. Best finish for Steve Vroman this season is 15th. That is so uncharacteristic.
Yeah,
driver number 00.
I was just about to say it has been very uncharacteristic season so far for Steve Vroman. He is usually the model class of consistency, and it just hasn't been there this season so far. He's looking to get back to form here tonight.
1 DNS. The other 3 starts, he's been wiped out by an accident that was arguably not of his doing any time. As Salamone trying to find some space to work around Paluota, he's going to get to the inside, but he clipped the grass through the apron. I'm surprised he held onto it there. But these 2 are watching McKinnon and Vroman fade away in front of him.
And behind them, Kay and Reynolds still battling hard. Bartel pushing John Kay on the bottom right now.
Reynolds the on one out. He's pretty much one of the only trucks on the outside. Did he get in the wall? That was awfully close. Everybody else pretty much sticking to the bottom, and now maybe you know why. Salamone gets moved up top. There goes John Kay. Salamone still stuck on the outside here as Bartel. Salamone boxing Reynolds in. Coming to 18 laps to go. It's all McKinnon out front, all by his lonesome. About 6.5 tenths ahead of Steve Vroman. And Nathan Paluota doing his damnedest to fend off John Kay and company behind him.
Man, and I don't know if Reynolds is saving tires. We saw him take a commanding lead earlier, but he's gotten passed by a couple of people here.
Would not surprise me at all if he was saving here for a big push at the end. And speaking of push, John Kay is saying, get out the way. It's getting hot in Hurrr for the 3rd place battle. It's Kay underneath the Paluota. Steve Vroman the last 2 laps has been a little bit faster than Jeremy McKinnon. So 00 may not be done yet.
Well, we're not right at the end of this thing yet either. We still have 16 to go. Anything can happen in that period of time.
It's had the intensity of 3 to go this entire time since the restart.
It
as
certainly has.
Here comes Reynolds inside of John Kay now. I think you hit it right on the head. That's another quarter in the tip jar for Matt Williamson. Nathan Reynolds on the move. Third, fourth, and fifth. Nose to tail here. Bartel trying to close in now as well. Here goes John Kay to the inside of Paluota, and he is clear already.
Yeah, he carried a huge run, and he kept the hammer down. No lifting. Whoa! Woda into the back of John Kay. Fishtailed him just a bit.
I think maybe there was some net code contact between the two. As here goes Reynolds now to the inside. Nathan on Nathan violence here for spot number 5, and it is over. Just because Woda's fading here at the end of this race, let's not be dismissive of how good his race is. He's been up front all day, trying an alternate strategy, and now he's going to have a go at the two-time champ. Just like I said, his race is not over yet.
Wow, Reynolds must have had to have lifted out of turn number 2. Everybody behind him got a huge run. Bartel, Salamone, and Paluota. Woda was able to make the pass.
And this is stalling out the charge here big time for Reynolds. Even just one lap or two of having to try and work his way back around Paluota here is really hurting his chances, as Steve Roman up front has cut that length or that advantage down to about 3 truck lengths. He is starting to work on his teammate here.
And here goes Reynolds again underneath the 6.
Reynolds this time hoping it's going to stick. He's clear up, but we'll see what Paluota has here into turn number 1. It's Bartel and Salamone in close proximity behind them. Truck length and a half from McKinnon to Vroman. And John Kay is trying to reel them in. He's about a second behind this battle for the lead.
Well, if these two get to battling, that is exactly what John Kay is going to want to see. However, these two are teammates, Jeremy McKinnon and Steve Roman, and they are smart teammates. There's no doubt about it. If they can keep John Kay away from them for a little bit longer and then battle, I think that's what they'll plan to do. But if Roman gets to him, I don't know if you can wait.
I don't think you can wait either. Broke Eye Racing, the team champions. They're second in the team standings right now. And this is going to be a good result for them no matter how they finish, as long as they can hold off the Alabama gang behind them.
Here goes
Roman. McKinnon has been running that line the last 2 or 3 times into turn number 1. This time, Vroman is getting the better of him. I think McKinnon has just enough to hang on to it here through 3 and 4. One more corner like that, and Vroman is going to be all over the 12. Awesome racing here tonight by these drivers in the Venom Truck Series. This is the 5th time the Venom Truck Series has been here in Texas, and with racing like this, you wonder why we weren't here last season. Vroman again, a little bit of a run here, but McKinnon going to shut it down into 3. John Kay is inching his way towards
McKinnon
this
the
battle.
wall. McKinnon got on the outside wall out of 4. Vroman is there now.
Vroman is in the lead.
Pass.
He got it. New leader 00, just as we're approaching some lap traffic here. John Kay is closed by about 2.5 tenths in the last lap. Vroman trying to set sail. Coming to 7 laps to go. Kay is there on McKinnon, and he brought Nathan Reynolds with him. Top 4 are pretty much going to be nose to tail. Actually, Paluota and Bartel are there as well, as Kay gets the door shut on him by McKinnon. McKinnon trying to block for all he's worth. But Kay is going on. And Kay is clear.
McKinnon looking to fight back on the inside. Doesn't quite have the run here.
6 laps to go. 0.6 of a second between John Kay and Steve Roman.
And we've seen John Kay turn it on late so many times. Can he put the afterburners on again?
Or does Steve Roman have something here? The gap at the line is closed by about 0.5. Behind them, Reynolds desperately trying to get around Jeremy McKinnon for the final spot on the podium. He is going to have that look down the back straightaway. Nathan Palawota is right there in the mix as well.
McKinnon shuts the door, contact!
What a save by Jeremy McKinnon. It's going to stack up everybody behind him. That's the game you play here at the end. Palawota to the outside of Reynolds. John Kay lost about 0.5 that last time by. All the time they had gained in the previous lap. It's all Steve Roman out front with 4 laps to go.
And there is a swarm behind him.
Palawota back up to 3rd.
What a power move.
Capitalizing off the mistakes of Reynolds and McKinnon. Bartel now to the outside of McKinnon as well. The gap is continuing to increase out front with 3 laps to go. Steve Roman leading by 0.7 over John Kay. And Palawota starting to pull away is McKinnon and TJ Bartel battling side by side for 4th. The rookie's looking for his first podium here in the Venom Truck Series. Two laps to go. Steve Roman wants nothing more than to get back to the line and get the hell out of Dodge.
Bartel's finally cleared McKinnon. Now Reynolds on the outside.
Reynolds clear McKinnon. Coming back to the line. John Kay is starting to close, but he may not have enough time. At the line, the white flag is out. Homestead Miami Speedway in Season 1 was the last time driver number 00 went to victory lane, but he's back here tonight in Season 6 at Texas Motor Speedway. Steve Roman is back to victory lane. John Kay in second. Nathan Palawota rounds out the podium here tonight as Reynolds and McKinnon crash behind TJ Bartel, who will finish in 4th. It's another win for Broke Guy Racing here this season. A 3rd of the season. The other 2 belong to Andy Poliski. John Kay, another podium, 3rd straight of the season. And Nathan Palawota, career best finish here tonight. And a great rally late from driver number 6. But boy, does this have to feel good. Burn it down. This will be a popular one for sure.
Definitely.
It's popular with us here, I can tell you that.
And chalk another one up for Broke Guy Racing. Just unbelievable.
A few drivers stopping by to offer some virtual congratulations. Poliski, Cole Maxwell, John Kay getting a whip in there as well. And as the celebration starts to peter out here a little bit, we've got some podium interviews to get here here momentarily. But we'll go ahead and give you the finishing order here as Steve Roman takes career victory number 2. His first since season 1. Hard to believe. But John Kay will finish in second here. It's his third podium of the season. And career podium number 1 for driver number 6, Nathan Palawota. That is his third top 5 of the season already. He is in the points hunt, I tell you that much. TJ Bartell, another top 5 for him here tonight. That is his second of the season. Nathan Reynolds then will round out the top 5 after tangling there late with Jeremy McKinnon. McKinnon slides back to 6th on the final lap. Will Salamone then will finish in 7th. Career best finish, I believe, for Oz Kanara here tonight. Yes, indeed. First career top 10. So a good night for terminal velocity here. P1, or rather a P3 and a P8. Good run for them. Rodney Matney then, another top 10. That's 2 in a row for Rodney Matney. A 9th place finish for him. Ryan Dye will round out the top 10 here tonight. Andy Poliski then, it's his second 11th place finish of the season. That is the worst he's finished all year, and now he's done it twice. So 11th for Poliski, 12th for Kyle Zittel, 13th for Brantley Gainey here tonight, 14th for Michael Dean, 15th for Garrett Rainey, 16th place finish here tonight for Jeremy Carter, 17th for Cole Maxwell. Finishing in 18th here tonight is Luke Peterson. Carson Mitchell will finish back in 19th, 20th place for Joshua Benjamin. Not the follow-up run to Canadian Tire Eric Breeding was looking for here tonight. He is the last truck on the lead lap down in 21st. Then one lap down in 22nd, Jan Van Leer, 23rd for Tyler Burgert. Paul Sargent, 24th. Pascal Samard, 25th. Kevin Sargent, 26th. Joshua Caudill, 27th. And 2 laps down in 28th after the unfortunate happenings there on the green flag pit stops. Chad Stearns, 29th for Ethan Patterson, and 30th for Kyle Dumig. Kenneth Graves then multiple laps down after the contact with Michael Dean. He finishes in 31st. Austin Holyfield will finish in 32nd. Gary Clark, I believe the last truck running? Actually, no, not. He's not. Gary Clark at 33rd, though. Brian Reyes and Paul Ellison were both running there at the end. They finished 34th and 35th. 36th and 37th for Corey Rutherford and Mark Dillon, DNFs for both of those gentlemen, unfortunately. But now it's time for some podium interviews. What do you say, partner? Should we drag up our third place finisher here tonight?
Let's do it.
Welcome to the Turn 200 broadcast booth for the very first time, Mr. Nathan Palawota. That was a crazy finish to that race. You got to be feeling pretty jazzed to be on the podium here today.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, especially when we got that pole. I couldn't believe it. I was like, really? I wasn't expecting that. And, the battle at the end was intense. I did not think I was going to be able to get around those guys. And, man, I was sliding it around at the end. It was just, oh, my God. It was amazing to race these guys. They raced me really clean. We had a little bit of contact near the beginning of the race, and I was mad. I was like, oh, no. I thought it was over, but we crawled back up. And I just followed Jeremy around there, and caution came out and put us in a perfect spot.
Absolutely, and you on your green flag stints, you were starting to go long there. What was the thought about going long here tonight?
Honestly, I have no clue. I do not plan my strategies at all. I just go out and see what happens. But yeah, Oz got his first ever top 10 in the series. Unfortunately, Brian had internet issues, but he still got back in the race and tried to limp it around and finish. So I'm really proud of our team, man. It's been just great to hang out with everybody here.
That's the sign of a real driver who loves to sim race. The fact that you can have so many internet issues and come back out onto the track 20 plus laps down and still finish out the race. That's a real trooper there for Brian. But Matt, do you have anything for Nathan here?
First of all, huge congratulations. Great to get to talk to you up here in the podium interviews. You mentioned a little bit that battle after that caution came out late in the race. Tommy and I were talking about how it seemed like there were only 3 laps to go, but there were still about 20 to go. Tell me about that crazy battle that was going on between about 6 trucks.
Well, I was fighting myself in my brain. I was like, well, I got to save a little bit of tire, but man, I just saw Jeremy was falling off there on the really long run, and I was like, oh, and I just saw the opportunities. I just took advantage of those opportunities that I saw where Jeremy slowed up. He got Nathan Reynolds stuck behind him. I can't believe I finished ahead of Nathan Reynolds. That is pretty big for me. Big rivalry between us, the the E versus the A. So that was pretty funny. But yeah, I don't know. There was chaos there at the end. That was one of the most intense battles I've ever had on iRacing. I was sweating bullets, you could say.
Well, the Nathans, the rivalry has swept all the polls this season, so congrats there. Congrats to you on your first podium here tonight. You've got quite a few people in the chat here that I think would like to hear a word. Anybody other than Terminal Velocity you want to shout out here tonight?
All right. Well, definitely, I got to shout out my parents. They basically fund my little sim racing thing here, and Patrick from GRD, that's another. We have Patrick Holmes, Jared Vega. He's a goofy little guy, bro. Gotta shout him out. He's pretty goofy. We call him the Skinwalker. Gotta shout him out. That's for sure.
All right. Well, shout out to the Skinwalker, and shout out to you. You were making it look easy out there. Congrats on the podium here tonight. Go party hard.
All right, thank you.
Shout out to the Skinwalker. All right. We'll go and bring up our second place finisher here. So close, closing there late, but comes up one short here tonight. John K. Another podium, though. You are absolutely just cracking them off here.
Yeah, it feels good. I've never really had a good start to the season, so it's a nice change. Hopefully the back end doesn't end up how my front ends usually do of seasons. But it was a fun race.
Good racing all night long, and also some strategy mixed in there as well. Talk me through once again trying to be one of the first on to pit road.
I mean, it was a lot of teamwork, team practice. A lot of the guys, we all put in a lot of work again, and we kind of figured out that after a certain point the tires equaled out. So if we could figure out a way to get a nice clean way to break up the race, and if we had people like Jeremy go long, well, they're after 15, 20 laps, their tires are going to equal out and they can't catch us. So that the first run really showed me that was very so. Good God, very much true. Jeremy was like 5.5 back of me and just wasn't getting any closer. And me and TJ were battling. So yeah, it's just I was excited to see how that was going to end out under green. I think me and Nathan and TJ had a pretty good race going there until that caution came out. So yeah, fun. Strategy races are fun, I guess. I don't know. I usually hate them. Tonight was pretty fun though.
Well, you've been on it all season with the strategy, but Matt, what do you got here for John K?
First off, congratulations. I mean, another podium here to begin the season. I, too, generally hope that my back doesn't end up like my front usually is either. So,
yeah, it'd be painful. Never mind. I'm not going to continue my sentence.
But
anyway,
go ahead and tell us about. I mean, working through lap traffic here, there were a couple of moments we were watching, and you were 3 wide with lap traffic, and it looked like pretty tight quarters out there. How was working through some lap trucks and some other lap trucks trying to work through you after they come on fresh tires?
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a lot freaking better than Atlanta. That was god awful. Yeah, man, the track's wide enough. I mean, and the difference was big enough between old and new tires that you could pretty much go wherever you want. I got trapped behind Paul and somebody else because Paul, I guess, couldn't go no faster, and yeah, it was really the only time I really struggled with it. After that, I was just like, you know what, we're just we're gonna pull a cold trickle, we're gonna drop the hammer, and we're just gonna let it eat, man. If I piss people off, I piss people off, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, if you're lapped, I mean, that you gotta give the guys on the lead lap a little bit of room. If you're not racing nobody. If you're racing somebody, it's a completely different story. But I think all in all, lap traffic, once I picked up the aggression level a little bit, was a little easier to work through.
Well, you've definitely been letting it eat so far. 3 podiums in a row, including your win a couple of weeks ago at Atlanta. Things are certainly looking up, John K, right now. Shout-outs for you here tonight.
Yeah, it makes me want Wilkesboro back a little bit more every week, though. But yeah, first, got to start with my girlfriend. She's amazing, and she's working on exam stuff right now, studying for exams for grad school, so I'm sure she appreciates me yelling obscenities and getting all pissed off at a video game all night long. Shout out my mom and dad for giving birth to me. They're great. I love them both. My dad actually talked me into trying to do the YouTube thing more time than part-time. So be on the lookout on JK Gaming on YouTube. It's the black and gold logo, or you can look up the Venom cast, JK Gaming, and get us to 100 subs. I think we're at 95 last time I checked. So yeah, shout out my mom and dad, and shout out the whole team, man. Garrett, Nathan, Paul, Alabama gang, we're doing really good things right now. We just got to keep it rolling. Superkick, Luke, Eric, Brandon Byers wasn't here, but Carson was tonight. The teamwork has just been immaculate. It's one of the best, I think, other than RNS, Superkick, 3BM, whatever the amalgamation of it you want to say. It's one of the best teams I've ever been on, and I'm very happy to be a part of it. And I'm just glad that I get the chance to race. And yeah, thank you to you guys too for listening to idiots like me spout random crap. Yeah, way too often now. I feel like I need to stop getting so many podiums. Settle for some lackluster top fives.
Nah, no, podium away, partner. Hot off the presses, Alabama gang still leading the team standings. So
hell yeah, we are.
So good work, Mr. John K. Good work to Nathan Reynolds as well, though we don't get to talk to him here tonight. But go party hard with another podium, partner. You earned it.
Absolutely, you guys party hard too. You guys deserve it as well.
I'm going to bed. But appreciate it. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Tony.
Thank you.
Yep. Every time. And we made this gentleman wait long enough here. It's party time officially in Tennessee here tonight. We welcome back Mr. Steve Roman as a race winner again in the Venom Truck Series. This is so exciting. You've got to be just absolutely pumped up here.
Hell yeah, I've been waiting a long time for this one, guys. Thanks, appreciate it.
Well, first of all, how the hell did you do 53 laps to start this race?
I tried to save as much fuel as I could. Actually, I pitted with 2 laps still in the tank, so I just didn't lose too much time to those guys. I was backing off in the corners. I thought maybe I might be able to stretch it and make it on one stop, but that was pushing it too much.
Oh my gosh, that is insane. All right, so where did you think you were going to maybe shake out there if the caution didn't come out late, or a caution didn't fly towards the end of that race?
If that caution didn't fly, I was hoping for top 5 or so. I planned a pit stop shortly after that caution came out. It was a couple laps away from pitting there, so I'm glad it came out when it did and it worked out the way it did. But I hoped I had enough speed to stay in the top 5 there once I caught those guys up again. So, but it worked out great.
So now you're digging hard there after the merciful caution there, and the only driver standing in between you and victory is probably the most aggressive driver out on track, your teammate Jeremy McKinnon. I mean, how did you manage to get it done?
Yeah, I wasn't sure how I was going to get around him there. I tried it once and it didn't quite stick on the bottom going into 1 and 2, so I wanted to be careful too, not to race side by side and draw everybody up from behind us and give them a shot at us. I wanted us to race it out. So I was patient there, and unfortunately for him, he made a mistake and got into the wall off of 4, and that was it. And once I got to clean air, that was it. I was able to maintain that gap back to 2nd place and bring it on home.
Well, Matt, what do you got for a race winner here?
I mean, just a huge congratulations. It's been a tough start of the year, or this season for you. Finally got the monkey off your back. Where do we go from here? What's the goal for the rest of the season?
Well, I hope to pick up a couple more wins. I've got a couple good tracks coming up. Michigan being one of them. That's the next one I'm looking forward to. And then Auto Club there on the schedule. That's another good one for me. And of course, the home track at Bristol. Really looking forward to that one.
All righty, let's get some shout-outs going for you here tonight from the top step.
Thanks, guys. Give a shout out to my teammates there at Broke Guy Racing, and of course our sponsors at your Beeswax Apiary.
All righty, partner. We hope to talk to you again soon. Hopefully as a race winner again, but at least another podium for you coming up here soon. Let's plan on it. But big congratulations to you here tonight on a fantastic drive here at Texas.
Thanks again, guys. I really appreciate it. Hope to talk to you again soon.
And, there is a chance that we could talk to him again tomorrow night. I didn't quite get to ask him if he was running Daredevil tomorrow, but he is one of the Venom Truck Series drivers that is signed up to run in the Daredevil Series on Wednesday nights. So that's maybe he can make it back-to-back race wins on back-to-back nights. Who knows? Yeah, that's pretty much all we got here from Texas. This was this was a great race. This will go down in the history books as one of the best races we've had so far on the channel, I think. Anyway, do you have a rootin' tootin' time here tonight, Cowboy?
Oh, yeehaw, brother. The rootin'est tootin'est time I've had in quite a while here on iRacing. No, seriously. That was such a great race. Strategy play, just great battles on the track as well. That late caution, the battle there for the top 10 was absolutely insanity. Everything I could have asked for my first week back from a vacation here in the Venom Truck Series. And so looking forward to tomorrow night with the Daredevil Series. I can't believe we're back.
I can't either. That is, again, I believe 7:50 Eastern, 6:50 Central. We will be with live coverage of the Daredevil Series. It is back, and it is going to be in action at one of the best tracks on the schedule, Pocono. That is going to be so much fun. We want to thank everybody for their continued support of Turn 200. We wouldn't be here without you. We couldn't do it without you, and you're supporting the drivers of the Venom Truck Series as well. So they all appreciate it, and we all appreciate you as well. So we will be back here on the channel, of course, tomorrow for the return of the Daredevil Series at Pocono. And the Venom Truck Series will be in action again next Tuesday night at the yet-to-be-named race at the Oval at Twin Ring Motegi. We're going to the virtual land of the rising sun for some Oval action in Japan. But for everybody here at Turn 200 and the Venom Truck Series, for the absolute GOAT, Mr. Matt Williamson, I've been Tommy Cook. Until we meet again here, we say so long from virtual Texas, where Steve Broman finally breaks the winless streak and is back in victory lane with the Venom Truck Series. Have a good night, everybody.